Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. Folks, it's our job to give you some interesting bits of Noodle sports, entertainment, odd news, and whatever else we happen to stumble across in this hour-long or so podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. I am Rich Liebig.
And I'm Michael Costanzo.
And, this is the podcast where we review some interesting things happening in Philadelphia, in entertainment, and, of course, in odd news, my favorite subject.
Of course.
Before we get to all of the news at hand, Mikey, my friend, how you doing? What's happening in Costanzo country?
I'm doing pretty good. Honestly, what have I been doing? Just playing a lot of video games. I've been reading a lot this year.
We had some snow in the area this past week.
Oh, yeah, we did have that, too.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about it. I work from home, so I
You
literally...
bastard.
Yeah, it never really impacts me.
I came here last week, and you were like, it's cold outside? I'm like, yeah, it's freaking freezing. We got 5 inches on the ground.
I know it was cold, but we opened the door. I was like, oh, man, it's like especially cold.
Yeah.
Like middle of January cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't go outside.
Yeah,
really.
Sherlock, yeah, stick your head outside.
You asked me, like, how are the roads in your area? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. I asked you, because I wasn't sure.
I'm like, I don't know. Ask somebody who drives when they get home. I don't.
Spoiled.
Yeah.
So spoiled, Mike.
What can I say? I think I deserve it.
Oh.
But
there you go. Look at you.
But no. No, I mean, I'm very lucky to get to work from home full time, so I don't have to brave the weather or any of those things. But because of the weather, I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3. I've been reading a lot. I have Book of the Month Club, where you get a book every month. So I'm trying to do. I think my goal is like 15 to 18 books over the course of the year. So I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. Yeah.
That's more than a book a month. Yeah, you gotta.
Well, I'm a third of the way through my third book already in January.
You are a reader.
Yes.
Nerd.
Yeah, no.
On the flip side, I don't read.
Right. I balance us out. So he reads 0 books a year, and I read 18 books a year. So it balances out to a healthy 9, a normal 9.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah, you've never been. You read other things. You read a lot of like articles and news, and you're very up to date on like sports and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
you
where
read
I
a lot
go.
of trades, a lot of trade publications, Sports Illustrated, Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah. Stop making it feel like I'm smarter than I am. I'm not. Yeah, I am. I don't know. I got to do stuff around the house. I got to try and catch up on Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I'm level 5. What are you?
I think I'm 6.
6, okay.
And if that's the case, it's just because Rachel wants to play. Rachel has gone in hook, line, and sinker into Baldur's Gate.
She's done the deep dive.
Yeah, she loves
it. It's a good game. It really takes up a lot of time.
Yeah.
I'm sitting down. I'm like, I'm going to play Baldur's Gate.
And not to mention, too, we also do actual D&D as well.
Yeah. You guys do that as well. Yeah, that's your, like, I'm like reading. That's my, like, heady activity. You do D&D. That's your heady activity.
For this current cycle that we've been on. Yeah, it's fun.
And you once led me to believe that you didn't like fantasy. You secretly love fantasy. You're a liar.
I don't like that high fan. I don't know. I can't.
That's what D&D is. There's dragons. There's elves. There's
there's
dwarves.
gambling.
Oh my God.
I like gambling. I like that.
Let me tell you, craps should use a 20-sided dice.
We would probably figure out a way to incorporate
that'd be fun. Imagine the people at that table. You have the hardcore gamblers and then like the nerds.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Man, why hasn't a casino experimented with this?
I don't know.
We could probably figure out something.
Something.
You bastard! You might have stumbled onto something here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to do some research.
But also, you're rolling 2 dice, so it goes from 2 to 12 already. They could just use one 20-sided die, like a fun big, like fist-sized and. That way, all the numbers are on one die.
You need to have like an entire wall because like they're kind of heavy. They're gonna take someone's eye out when they hit the back
People
wall.
throw like a baseball.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna have to implement some rules on this.
You know that was my biggest fear going to the craps table was shooting the dice outside the table. That was my biggest fear was them. And I saw that it happened to people, but I didn't want to be that person.
It happens.
You know. Yeah.
But didn't you? I forgot.
Did I skip it out once? I don't remember.
I forgot. Did you actually throw the dice?
Yeah, when we went.
Wasn't it fun though?
It was fun.
It was
yeah.
like, see, that's the thing with craps. Craps is the
but
only
the digital version. Because
Okay,
it
but you still
explains.
got the
It
dice.
explains. Yeah, but I like that because it explains the rules on the iPad,
Yeah.
and that was
but
good.
you've still
Yeah.
got physical dice. See,
Yeah.
see, craps is the only game in the casino where at some point the player holds the item at hand.
I want to convince somebody to let me spin my own roulette wheel.
Yeah, you can't do that. No, that's against the casino rules.
They should do that. They should do a spin your own wheel.
I'm sure somebody.
Why do they let you throw the dice but not spin your own wheel?
I'm sure somebody.
They scienced it.
Yeah, right. There's in a casino, everything has a frickin' reason. I
Yeah.
bet you somebody figured out a way to swipe balls and the balls could be controlled or something.
You know,
I
Rich,
don't
if you were serious about gambling, you'd go to, where'd you say, in the UK, they only have one green space on the roulette wheel.
Yeah, that.
If you were
0.
serious, you would go there.
0 is the way to go.
Yeah.
It's very hard to find, but they
do have them here?
It's usually higher limit though, so
Oh.
you're probably risking more money.
Gatekeeping.
Yeah,
In casinos, I never.
but in Europe, yeah, it's 0. That's the way you want to go because it's getting worse. Apparently, in some parts in Vegas, there's 000. Which,
000.
yeah,
What's that?
adding another 0.
How do you even get, by that logic, how do you even get 000? This is stupid.
Yeah, it is.
Just wait, they're going to get 4 quadruple
No.
0.
No, don't do
Quintuple
that.
0.
Don't do that. Get your uncle Rich, please.
Who are you talking to?
If you go to Vegas, don't play 000. That's not good.
000.
000 is bad enough. 000 is you might as well burn your money.
You could just hand the money to the security guards at the entrance.
Yeah.
So here you go.
Yeah.
Just
Go play Keno at that rate. I don't know. Play something else.
I don't know what that is, but yeah.
It's basically like the lottery in the house.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You pick 8 numbers and you hope they come out. Yeah, Keno is basically lottery. Just in case you didn't get enough lottery during the day.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anywho,
yeah.
you
Gambling's
mostly like fantasy because of gambling. That's what I took away from
I
that.
like D&D because of the gambling aspect. I like that.
So are you role playing your character at all, or you're like just let me roll the dice? What can I roll for?
Yeah, right.
Like,
I'm
come
just-
on,
Right.
Snake Eyes. Like no, you don't want Snake Eyes.
Yeah, I'm like, what do I need? Tell me what I
Yeah.
need to do.
Where to go?
Yeah.
How do I do it?
How many dice do I get to roll with sneak attack? That's what I want to know.
There you go.
What did I said we were talking about this off camera.
You
and
said, and I quote, "If I get advantage, somebody's gonna die."
Yep, that's my character. Don't you dare give me advantage.
I love it. I love it. If I get advantage, somebody's gonna die.
That's the power of sneak attack, rogue. So.
I've been to the surprise of nobody. Probably I've been playing Bard, which I feel like fits my character.
Yeah, so you get a musical instrument.
Musical instrument, a lot of support spells, a lot of crowd control, manipulating people, doing that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
I have this spell where I can make a cloud of revolving daggers. So
Ooh.
you just drop that down.
Yeah, that hurts.
It hurt anybody who walks through it, and then I just stand in back of it, and I'm like, "Come get me," or the video game equivalent of "Come get me." you
Yeah,
know?
take that, you bastards.
So no, the game is good. Gambling, Baldur's Gate 3, all of the above.
Yeah.
Go check it out, or books.
Yep. Well, you know what? I will have gambling advice in our sports segment. So should we just launch right into sports?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So without further ado, our first batch of topics revolve around sports in the Sports Sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports. In your face. Ha ha!
Yeah, sports coming at you in your face. And before we get to football, there's something we have to mention here in Philadelphia. And that was the fact that on Monday night, Joel Embiid was on fire. He just went out there and took care of business as he set the new 76 record for most points in a game. 70
Wow.
points in one game.
That's amazing.
I think Iverson only got to 60. So, I mean, this is
What
really...
a bomb. No, I'm kidding.
Iverson was a fantastic. Don't you dare
Iverson's
call
a
him bum.
Hall of Fame caliber.
He
I mean,
was-
a literal Hall of Famer.
He was so much fun to watch.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
AI is still my favorite Sixer because I really don't know anybody else.
Well, Joel Embiid,
Joel Embiid,
might
though.
be climbing up your ranks then. Because 70 points.
Yeah.
That breaks the record. Because Wilt Chamberlain had 68 when he played for the Sixers in 1967. Wilt Chamberlain did not play for the Sixers when he's had the 100-point game. He was actually with the Philadelphia Warriors at the time.
Oh.
So this is a new 76ers record that Joel Embiid has set. But this is not a fluke, by the way. For those that haven't been paying attention, you might want to hop on board the Sixers train as Embiid has scored 30 or more points in the last 21 consecutive games.
That's pretty impressive.
What a streak. I mean, dare I say, is he on his way to a second MVP? He is really just the heart and soul of this team. And with Thibault, I mean, they're looking good. They're around third in the conference. They're hanging around that area. I don't want to get my hopes up.
It's interesting you say third.
Yes.
For those of you who haven't been following the Sixers every year, I was just going to make a joke, but I don't need to because it's history. They're third right now. They'll finish third, and they'll probably exit in the divisional round or semifinals,
round.
whatever it's called.
Yeah. So
I was going to say there's a lot of work for Joel Embiid to leave in the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah. But
He's peaking now. They're peaking too soon.
No, this is around the halfway point.
That's too soon.
It's too soon.
That's too soon.
Oh, Mike!
I.e. the Eagles.
I'm trying to be positive. This is Philadelphia.
There's no positivity in Philadelphia.
Let us have this moment.
This is a desolate land of negativity and heartbreak.
God damn it, Mike. Let me have...
God, be positive.
Yeah, let
be
me
positive.
have some peace. All right, Joel
This is incredible. Anytime a player is able to set a record like that.
Yes. And...
Especially one that stood for, 60 years almost?
Just about, yeah.
Wow.
A new franchise record for Joel Embiid. And, I think it's a sign of good things to come. And, I think it comes down to whether or not the Sixers are able to do something at the trade deadline. If they can pull in one more piece to augment this team,
yeah,
then I say, okay, maybe it's time to really consider this as a serious run.
Well, they got to make a serious run at some point because all these non-serious runs are getting tiring.
Yes. But nevertheless, looking forward to what the Sixers have to offer for the rest of the season as Joel Embiid sets new records, 70 points in a game. I mean, that's insane.
Impressive, but the more impressive part to me is the 30-plus points in 21 consecutive games because it's one thing to have like a sudden spike in production. It's another thing to keep it going for like multiple weeks.
My thing is just like in a game when someone's hitting like 40, 50 points.
It's just like triple the guy. Like do anything.
Triple team the guy.
Start fouling him like crazy. Like you got to stop him. Yeah.
Figure out something.
Because that 70 points, that's like just over half the total points in basically any NBA game.
Nowadays,
right?
Yeah.
Nowadays. They usually score like, between 110, 130? Most offenses?
In a winning effort, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's more than half the points. You got to do something.
Like,
stop the guy.
Like, like when a player is climbing to 50, 55 points, like, wouldn't I, like, grab, like, my team and just be like, triple team that guy? I don't want to see him score.
5-on-1.
Yes. Let anybody else score.
I mean, no, there's something to be said about forcing the other players to contribute. Like, do you feel that there's an overemphasis of Joel Embiid in the game plan? Like, are the other players just not pulling their weight?
No. Thibault is really doing well.
So it's not a case of them just leaning on their one guy.
I mean, to a degree. I mean, look, Embiid is an MVP. He's the defending MVP of the league right now.
Yeah.
So yes, you want your offense to go through him, but
there's not an over reliance on him, though.
Correct. I don't think there's an over.
Not yet, at least. What?
What is it with you?
I'm just saying. Look, man. Look, they did like 5 years in a row. They over rely on Joel Embiid. They get to the playoffs as a 3 seed. They leave in the second round of the playoffs. It's a tale as old as time. It's Beauty and the Beast. All right. I already know what's going to happen. Place more gambling advice. Put all the bets in the world on that exact narrative right there.
Sixers, please do something about this man.
Prove me wrong.
Come on. Make it further than the second round. Please help us out.
Look, this strategy was highly successful for me in 2022 to force us to go to a Super Bowl. So maybe I'll force him to go to an NBA championship by just ragging on Joel Embiid. Maybe
yeah.
he's not the guy.
Oh no!
No.
Are we gonna have this segment?
No,
We're gonna have to pull back.
No.
Is he the guy?
You are not the guy. You're not capable of being the guy. I had a guy, but now I don't. You are not the guy.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. Every week from here on out until the NBA playoffs, we're just gonna have like a quick 5 seconds. I'm gonna play that clip. Is Joel Embiid the guy?
I'm gonna be like, no, he's not the guy. AI was the guy.
There you go.
20 years ago.
There you go. Does that sound like a good segment we do from here on out?
Yes.
Okay. Here's the first edition of the segment. Is Joel Embiid the guy, Mike?
You are not the guy. You're not capable of being the guy. I had a guy, but now I don't. You are not the guy.
Okay, Joel Embiid scored 70 points in the game. Is he the guy?
I think that when AI was here, he shared the load a bit more. He was more of a team player, if you can believe it. He didn't just hog the ball all to himself. I could play devil's advocate for anything. I'm just saying, I single-handedly, bullied Hurts enough that he got to a Super Bowl. I can do it with Joel Embiid for an NBA championship. I will take on that task.
Okay, well then set the record straight. Is he the guy?
No.
All right, there you go. Mike is already doubting Joel Embiid. There you go. So if the Sixers make it deep, everyone rag on Mike now.
No, I'm the person that took them there. That's the point. It's reverse psychology.
Okay.
Maybe that's what the Eagles are doing.
Yeah. All right. Mike is already he can't help himself. He's got to talk about football, and it does make sense. The Eagles have pulled the plug on the coordinators.
All of them.
All of them. I mean, the writing was on the wall. We knew this was coming. So Sean Desai, Matt Patricia, Brian Johnson, they're all going to be gone. This is whole new.
Almost a clean slate.
Yeah.
There's just one smudge left on the slate. But that one's not going anywhere. Nick Sirianni is, of course, safe. Him and owner Jeffrey Lurie had a multi-hour meeting to discuss the future direction of the team. And it looks like they are content to stick with Sirianni and see if he's got it for one more year.
Yeah,
at least.
Unfortunately, the problem with trying to fire Sirianni is who are you going to bring in that's going to be better than Sirianni? I don't know. I mean, maybe if you land Vrabel or Belichick.
I was going to say there's options out there, or Harbaugh.
No, they're not landing Harbaugh's going to.
I mean, yeah, he's probably going.
He's going Chargers.
He's going to L.A. because they started interviewing.
Yeah.
This is the Eagles' fault. We hire young coordinators who get poached, and we take too long to do absolutely anything.
Yeah.
Like, I just want some expediency in a decision at some point with the Eagles.
So I pretty much think that was off the table as well.
Yeah.
So, so I don't know how you would replace Sirianni so that the Eagles would be better.
Yeah, I mean,
unfortunately.
I have to differ. I think that team can lift a lot of coaches, but it doesn't matter because Sirianni is going to stick with the team.
He's also got 2 years left on his contract.
Yeah.
I don't think he's committed. He's not on Frank Reich levels of egregiousness yet, apparently.
Okay.
Because Frank Reich, oh man, the Panthers, they were a dumpster fire. That was literally a dumpster fire.
I don't have a huge problem with Sirianni staying. I've been thinking about this the past few days. As long as he shows a willingness to grow and change.
Yeah.
I think that's been his biggest downfall during his tenure with the Eagles. And I think this last season really exposed that. You know, the first couple of years, it's like you can get by on the motivational speeches and the player-first mentality. But then once they cracked the code of his offense, and it seems like he either didn't have confidence in the play callers or there was some kind of general malaise or miscommunication happening, what every report seems to indicate was the case. He was not able to right the ship and get everybody, on the same track. And we've seen this tank other coaches like Chip Kelly, right?
Yep.
Like Doug Peterson before Nick Sirianni kind of had issues with promoting from within, and the guys weren't the right fit, and they couldn't get on the same page. So I don't mind him staying because he has had success, but I have to see some kind of change or growth. If we go into next season and like game one, it's the same stuff.
Then it's
my call for his head is going to be even louder.
Well, yeah. I think at that point, then he doesn't have a leash to hang on.
Yeah.
And at that point, then he's only a year left on his contract. So that makes sense at that point. So I get it.
Yeah.
But definitely, I think I'm happy to see the coordinators go because I was just frustrated with all of them.
I just feel bad that I was frustrated with them too, but I feel bad that I feel like some of these guys are going to go on and have semi-successful stints with other teams. From what I'm understanding, a lot of staff are upset that Brian Johnson was fired or let go. They seem to like him.
The 20 wide receiver screens a game, that wasn't enough.
I think from the reports that I've been reading that there is a general feeling that he wasn't allowed to run the offense the way that he wanted to. I don't know how true that is.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I that doesn't excuse the bad play calling, but when you're forced to run a system that's not yours, and when you have your authority being taken away from you, and you get overruled frequently, from what it sounds like, I just feel like he might go on and do well elsewhere in another capacity. But like I said, it speaks to a growing issue that I think we've all seen come to light the past few weeks, that Nick Sirianni might, I don't know. I'm losing faith in him very quickly. And I'm losing patience with the Eagles as well.
Oh, yeah. Especially the way the season ended.
Yeah.
So, we shall see. But I know you want to get to this new report that came out offering a look inside Jalen Hurts, because this is gaining steam on all the sports talk here on local Philadelphia radio. Yeah,
so it's very similar to the reports that came out during Carson Wentz's tenure of just a little bit of behind-the-scenes insiders talking, sources talking about how Hurts has changed, that he got the contract, he became less approachable. He wasn't able to ask for help when, it was needed. The reports do indicate that the sources say he's not like the quote-unquote the other guy, meaning Wentz.
Yeah,
that's
good.
Words. So it's good that they explicitly say, no, it's not exactly like that. But I do find it concerning that it's almost the same narrative, unapproachable. The leadership qualities are like, they say that he defers to A.J. Brown a lot. He's not able to ask for help. It's like weirdly the same beats as the Carson Wentz drama.
Yeah, that's not good.
So when you have two young quarterbacks go through the same exact narrative arc, right? Does this suggest or imply maybe that we're looking at a larger organizational issue in how we treat our quarterbacks?
Yeah, so I mean,
or how we manage them.
Yeah, is like, are you saying like, is Jeffrey Lurie like getting involved in the nitty gritty?
Is it too much fiddling? Is it putting them on a pedestal? Is it trying to force them to be something they're not? Like the number of deep passes, it was almost like, I got this new toy. Let me show you what it can do. But that's not Hurts.
Not all the time.
Not all the time. It's carefully planned when you're going to unleash those bombs. Not every play in the NFL is going to be a 40, 50, 60-yard touchdown.
No, it can't be.
It can't be. So I don't know if it's meddling from the higher-ups, trying to show off a new toy, trying to put him on a pedestal or coddle him or not coach him because now he's the guy. But this is two quarterbacks in a row, same exact narrative. I mean, is that not weird to you?
Yes, it's very weird.
It's like the same article. I think it's by the same guy too.
Because we don't see this with other organizations.
No.
So,
the only time we've seen quarterbacks have the same narrative arc is Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers,
and soon to be Jordan Love.
But you don't really see it like.
How about we poach one of their guys?
Yeah, can't we do that? Whatever they did, they've had three quarterbacks over like 50 years, and they all. Jordan Love's going to win a Super Bowl at some point.
Yeah. Can we swipe one of their guys, whoever their quarterback organizer is?
Yeah, who do they have scouting quarterbacks?
Yeah. Can we find one of them? How about this? Let's get the quarterback scout from the Packers, get the wide receiving scout from the Steelers.
Yeah.
There's just certain teams that got lucky with like certain like positions.
What do we get lucky with? Almost nothing. Offensive and defensive line.
Yeah.
Not even though, because we've also had the Danny Watkins and the Who were some of the guys on the defensive line that never panned out? You know,
Yeah.
People are always saying Jordan Davis is a bust. I'm like, calm down. He's been in the league 2 years.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a little early on that one.
let's see a little bit more what he can do. But why can't we have success at other positions like
You know,
cornerback?
ugh,
Or
no, we can't have that.
no, we
God
can't have
forbid.
that. What about a good linebacker? Notice anything with the teams in the playoffs this
No.
year?
You know,
Maybe
it's-
good linebacker play?
You know, it's funny mentioning the draft picks because I was just going through like Eagles drafts and 2019. Do you remember the 2019 Eagles draft?
I don't remember like yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Because the answer is you shouldn't remember the 2019.
What was it?
Eagles
Was
draft.
that J.J. Arthego-Whiteside? Or?
It was him. It was Andre Dillard,
Jesus Christ.
Miles Sanders.
I mean,
and-
Miles Sanders was serviceable for a
but
time.
we got rid of him.
Yeah.
And the year we traded the 3rd round pick for Golden Tate. So right
Man,
there,
That's like literally an entire
misfire,
year.
misfire.
That's literally an entire year of wasted
Yep.
potential.
Yeah. And somehow the Eagles, still got to a Super Bowl last year.
I
Go
don't know.
figure.
Go figure.
If only maybe we had
like
one of those hit.
one guy from that draft
If one of those
be
hit,
helpful.
maybe for that Super Bowl run.
Yeah,
Just it's amazing. Those decisions can impact a team.
it can. Yeah. It seems like recently their drafting has been a little bit better, but, I keep every once in a while see a report that like there's like meddling from the higher ups or somebody's putting their finger on the scales or they're letting, analytics drive decisions. And I'm just like, can't we just get back to football? Like, and that's why I see this report that the Eagles are interviewing former Commanders head coach Ron Rivera for defensive coordinator. I think that's actually a smart move. I think
Could be.
finding a former head coach who's like a football guy,
Yeah.
not some young guy who's like trying to make a name for himself and they just get poached the next year. I want like an older former coach who just wants to ride out his career as a coordinator.
And maybe you could also help Sirianni in being a head coach.
Yeah, be a mentor to be like, hey, this is how you handle these situations.
Yeah.
He wasn't the best in Washington, but he's a defensive-minded guy.
He won a couple big games against the Eagles. I know that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right. With that in mind, we need to move things along and get into the recent round of the playoffs.
Yeah, let's focus on good teams.
Yep. And what a slate of games that we had over this past weekend. First, we had the Ravens beat the Texans 34-10, but that score is very misleading because the first half it was tied 10-10. Texans were keeping up with the Ravens, so that was interesting.
They just pulled away.
Yeah, maybe it was a little bit of bye week rust, just like
Getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, and
just fooling around.
yeah, coming out of halftime though, they didn't take any prisoners in the second half. So Ravens get the home game in the AFC Championship.
As expected.
Then it was the 49ers versus the Packers. Packers were leading for most of that game.
Man.
We were rooting for them, but the 49ers made a comeback. The first one, I think, in Kyle Shanahan's career with the season on the line that they had to make a comeback in the fourth quarter. They pulled off a close win, 24-21. Give credit to the Packers, though.
They really showed up.
Yeah. They almost knocked them out.
They can be a special team going forward. Everybody, I think even us, were counting them out because of the loss of Aaron Rodgers and is Jordan Love the guy? I remember we talked about it in years past. Oh, what are they going to do? Do they like him? Do they actually like him? He had a fantastic year.
Yeah.
And he showed up in the playoffs
Yep.
for the most part.
So things are looking bright for the future of Jordan Love and the Packers, but their season ends to the 49ers. So the 49ers will host the NFC Championship game. Then we had the Lions beating the Buccaneers 31-23.
Man.
Happy to see that for Detroit.
I think that's probably the best game of the playoffs so far, is watching the Lions make it to the NFC Championship game there.
Yep.
What a huge success story for them.
Yeah, definitely exciting for the city of Detroit. 2 playoff wins for Detroit is, I believe, the first time that's happened since the 57 year when they won the NFL championship.
Yeah.
So literally that has not happened.
That is a great story for them.
In 70 years. That's 60 to 70 years.
Almost 70 years.
That's crazy. But the one that took everyone's heart.
You go from the highest highs to the lowest lows.
The Chiefs pulling up a very narrow win over the Bills, 27-24, and it was because the Bills kicker misses a field goal to tie the game wide right. I mean,
oh man, football
boy,
fans know what that means for Buffalo.
Bills. I really feel bad for Buffalo. I mean,
their kickers should just kick to the left of the uprights. Just kick to the left, and that way, when it's going wide right, it just goes in.
How about don't have a kicker anymore? just abandon.
Just keep going for it.
Yeah.
Every fourth, to go like Madden rules, go for it on every fourth down.
Just abandon the kicker.
Yeah.
Don't even roster a kicker.
Man,
don't even try it.
That is heartbreaking though, because this was their year.
Yeah.
I really do believe they were the hottest playoff team. This was their year. They had all the pieces kind of falling into place. They're $41 million over the cap, you said.
Yeah, somewhere
next year.
along that number.
So they're going to have to shed a lot of talent.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think you got to look at Stephon Diggs. He missed 3 catchable balls in that game.
You said he counts for, what, 14, 15 million? Yeah.
I mean, he didn't prove his worth in that game.
Yep. I mean, Super Bowl windows are very short in the NFL. I think a lot of teams, like the weird aberrations like the Chiefs and the Patriots, kind of skew people's understanding of what a Super Bowl window is. But it's really only like 3 years, maybe 4. And, I mean, count it up. How many years have the Bills been at the top of that division fighting in the playoffs every year?
How many times have they been eliminated by the Chiefs in the playoffs? 3 times.
Yeah, it either their window is closing or it just closed.
Yeah, it's looking iffy there for Buffalo for the future, but we'll see. Maybe they can rebound.
One more year, run it back.
Good luck. You're not going to be able to run it back because you got $41 million over the cap space. Someone's going to have to go.
I would love to see a team just be like, you know what, we're going to win a Super Bowl. All 53 guys agree to be underpaid, and they sign the best guys at every position. And just, I don't know.
Well, wasn't that basically
that was basically what the Patriots did?
Wasn't that basically the Buccaneers with Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Tom Brady literally was just like, hey, we're going to win a Super Bowl this year. Just sign for the vet minimum.
Right.
And
they did it.
Yeah. He had the running back that got cut by the Jaguars.
Fournette. Yeah.
Fournette. Yeah. They got him for like minimum.
Yeah.
He was like a top 10 draft pick.
Yep.
Yeah. That's basically what Tom Brady did for that season.
I feel like if a player really wants to win a Super Bowl, that's the way to do it.
Well, we shall see if that ever happens again in the future.
Patrick Mahomes should take a pay cut.
Well, I don't
keep
think
it going in Kansas City.
I don't think that's happening anytime soon. But what is happening soon are the conference championship games. Mike, are we ready to do our official predictions?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, let me get the music. There we go. 2 games to decide who will be in this year's Super Bowl.
All right, first up, we have the number 3 seed Kansas City Chiefs at the number 1 seed Baltimore Ravens. This is a Sunday 3 p.m. game. You have 2 of the most electric offenses, 2 of the stoutest defenses. This is what you want playoff football to be. Will the Chiefs make it back and repeat, or will the Ravens topple the defending Super Bowl champs?
Well, got to give it up to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. That game against the Bills was their first away playoff game with Patrick Mahomes.
Wow.
Did you know that? Yeah.
I did not think about it, but now that you've said it, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so, hey, they pulled off a win. But I am going to say they shouldn't have won that game. All the stats were showing the Bills were mounting a comeback. They were more efficient than the Chiefs were. They were, statistically, they were being more efficient and driving down the field. But in the end, Bills just had a couple mistakes that made the game go the Chiefs' way. And I don't know. I don't know if the Chiefs can repeat again as Super Bowl champions.
It's one of the hardest things to do in sports.
It is.
In general.
It is. And they're going to be on the road again, and they're going to Baltimore. Very tough place to play. The Ravens, I know that they had a weak first half in that game against the Texans, but I'm going to chalk it up to a little bit of bye week rust, trying to figure out the Texans' game plan. Because, man, John Harbaugh came back in that second half, fired up the team, and they just whipped the Texans in that second half. They come out like that. I don't think this is a game in Baltimore. I mean, we see that kind of intensity and that execution and excellence. Baltimore's going to take this one and run away with it. But for right now, I'm going to go Baltimore wins this one at home. I'm going to go like 7 points. I'm going to go by a touchdown decides it, like a 27-20 game.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to go with in my gut. But I do think Ravens pull this one out. Yeah,
I mean, everything you said makes perfect sense. I'm not going to pull a 180 and be like, but I just think it's the Ravens' year to make it to the Super Bowl. This is, you've said it before, you've alluded to it, this is Lamar Jackson's FU season.
Yeah. Remember, teams didn't want him this offseason.
And as much as I still am not particularly sold on Lamar Jackson, I will say that being that dual threat is a unique thing to have to game plan for, and it's something the Chiefs struggle with doing. What?
I also just remember, too, Mark Andrews is coming back in this game, in the AFC Championship game.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
All right. So getting
Lamar Jackson gets a big weapon.
Getting a big weapon back. Yeah. I think being comfortable at home, having that dual threat quarterback, the Chiefs made a valiant stand here at the end of the season and in the playoffs. But I just think that they're approaching the end of their rope. And we talked about Super Bowl windows closing. I think that they're getting to the point where they're realizing that they spent too much in certain positions and they've neglected others. And I think that the lack of skills position players outside of Travis Kelce is going to bite them in the ass here as they struggle to keep up with Lamar Jackson and that dual threat offense. I'm going with the Ravens.
All right, there you go.
Next up, though, maybe not as easy of a decision. We have the 3-seeded Detroit Lions traveling to San Francisco to play the number 1-seeded San Francisco 49ers. This is a Sunday 6:30 game if you're on the East Coast. Rich, who do you like in this one?
All right, so the 49ers did not look good in that game against the Packers.
They did not.
I'm just putting it out there. I watched that game. The Packers, they were all, for lack of a better word, in control of that game until the fourth quarter when they got gassed out on their defense. But the 49ers, it all comes down to one thing. Is Deebo Samuel coming back? Because this team looked starkly different when Deebo Samuel was on the field. I mean, they were able to run the plays that they wanted to. They were able to control the game. But when Deebo Samuel got hurt and he was out, all of a sudden it was like a house of cards, and Brock Purdy was taking some hits in the pocket. And Brock Purdy, I know everybody wants to believe the magical Disney story behind him, but if he gets hit, he gets rattled. It's been proven that he doesn't have, he doesn't tend to rebound in those kind of games.
Yeah.
So
he's a young quarterback.
Yes.
It's tough.
So it really, to me, comes down to, is Deebo Samuel going to be available in the NFC Championship game to give the official 100% concrete pick? But I will say this. The line here is 7.
That's big for a playoff game.
That's a big number for a conference championship game, and to a team that did not look that great against a number 7 seed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a little iffy to me. If you ask me to put money on this game, give me the team that looks more stable. Give me the team that is hungry. The Lions are hungry. They want to come in. They want to smack San Francisco. They want to cash their ticket in to the Super Bowl. And you're going to give me 7 points on the line? I'm going point spread. Give me the +7 on the Lions. That's too big of a point spread, in my opinion, for this game.
Yeah, I agree on the point spread. I also think that I've been saying all year, people are preemptively crowning the San Francisco 49ers. They have the same exact record as Detroit. Same exact record. And I wouldn't say one division is particularly tougher than the other. I think that the Lions might want it more than San Fran. They have that like weight of history riding behind them, and sometimes you have a magical season like the Eagles did back in 2017, you know? As a franchise, I don't think the 49ers need it as much as the Lions. I think that the story of Mr. Irrelevant is, it's been done before, but the first potential championship win in 70 years almost. I think that's something.
Well, this would be also first ever trip to the Super Bowl for Detroit.
For the Detroit Lions, yeah. On paper, San Fran is better, but they do have weaknesses. Brock Purdy is susceptible if he gets pressured. I've always said that team is heavily reliant on those skills position players that I don't think they can do it if one or two guys gets banged up. They don't have a lot of depth outside.
Also, we keep talking about Brock Purdy. How about Jared Goff as a redemption story?
Yeah. Also, the Lions
tossed away by the Rams a couple years ago.
The Lions
thought he was gonna die in Detroit.
Yeah, and on the flip side, the Lions just got back Gardner Johnson on defense.
Yes.
Had a big pick in the playoff game before. I like the Lions. It's weird. Maybe I'm biased against San Fran. I just want to see.
Are you calling for an outright win?
I'm calling an outright win for Detroit. Yeah. I think they want it more. I think that Brock Purdy, he's not as weathered as some of these other NFL teams. I think that
you might want to check the money line then. You're definitely going to be at plus money if the line's at 7. I think
San Fran, like, they're susceptible. They've lost 5 games. They're not invincible.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks like, oh, they're like the Patriots who went 17 or whatever it was, 19-1, 18-1. Like, no, they're 12-5 just with the rest of them. They're not even the best team in the league. That was the Ravens. And I think everybody's getting all hyped up about the second coming of Tom Brady and Brock Purdy. I just don't see it. I don't.
All right, so Mike calling for an outright Lions win.
Probably wrong, but I'm going with the vibes. I'm going with the good times in Detroit.
All right, so there you go, official picks. I would say go for the point spread. I think that's a safe bet because that's 7 points is big in a conference championship game, in my opinion. Too big.
That is too big.
For a team like the 49ers.
No respect for the Lions.
Yeah.
No respect. And I think that's the thing that gets me the most ticked off and why I'm going Lions.
All right. So
show some respect.
So there we go. It looks like we're pulling for a Ravens-Lions Super Bowl. That's what we would like to see.
I think that's the more fun storyline.
Yeah. That
the Lamar Jackson FU season and the Detroit Lions FU season.
That would be, in my opinion, as well. But there you go. That is all the news that we can handle in the Sports Sampler. And wow, I just realized, so this time next week, we're going to know who's playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's already, man, this football season goes by way too fast.
It really does. It's because it's so exciting.
Yeah.
Not like those other sports.
All right, Mike throwing one last dagger before we take a break. But don't go anywhere because we still got the entertainment entree up next and the non-fortune cookie odd news when we return from the break. Don't go anywhere. This is the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby,
Barnes & Noble,
and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
If you go to Taco Bell at 3 a.m, this is what you're going to get.
That clip is already coming into play.
Yes, already. So there you go.
Stop.
What happened?
The thing went on.
Well, how did that turn on?
I don't know. The fart sound.
The fart sound turned Amazon on?
I think the fart sound turned on my Echo.
What the
I
hell?
don't know. It turned on.
What are you doing, Jeff Bezos? What are you into?
Basically, he's listening to fart sounds.
He's listening to our fart sounds. Oh, my God.
I changed the trigger word to fart. I got to fart at it now. I don't know what happened.
That's really awkward. You're going to have to... Excuse me.
Excuse me. How can I help you?
You may need some bowel.
Do you want me to automatically order you Pepto-Bismol? I don't know why. I don't know why I'm talking to it solely through farts now.
It actually, you fart into it.
Fart once for yes and twice for no.
No. Actually, you fart into the device, and then Amazon can determine
what
what medicine you need.
Oh, right. Wow. That's next level right there. Or what you've been eating and what you want to reorder. I detect Cheetos. Would you like to subscribe?
Would you like a bulk order of Cheetos?
Ooh, yes, please.
Cheetos ordered.
Cheetos. That story took a turn.
Yeah.
Cheetos ordered.
Okay. All right. There you go. The latest from Jeff Bezos and Amazon.
It's amazing technology, I tell you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Done all of the sports news from the world of basketball and football. Yeah, Mike, I don't know what you're going to do. Soon the well's going to run dry on football.
I'm just going to stop paying attention to sports.
No, Mike, come on. There's plenty of other sports.
There isn't.
There's Phillies.
No.
There's golf. I saw an ad for the Masters on, I don't know if you caught that, on the AFC Championship.
As soon as I see anything golf, I throw the remote at the TV.
Come on,
I'm
Mike.
kidding.
You love the drama of
I
golf.
love the drama. Golf is like old people, like old crotchety man soap opera.
Yeah,
is what it is. I love it. I do.
loved the Live Tour and the PGA Tour drama.
If you keep bringing me tasty drama like that, I will keep talking about golf.
All right. Well, I mean,
that's the deal.
I think this Masters we will see some drama.
I want to see some drama.
So
I can't remember. Does Saudi Arabia own golf now? Was that where we left it?
It's still.
We have to have like a primer course.
Yeah, it's still murky right now. We don't know exactly the details, but they're working it out, and they're going to come up with a.
So every golfer
final.
is a terrorist, basically. Is what you're saying? Is that slander or libel? Which one?
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
Slander is spoken. Libel is printed.
Okay, so it's slander.
Yeah, you're doing
sorry.
slander. Not libel though. 1 out of 2 isn't bad.
Anyway,
my
goal is to get us sued. Obviously,
great.
No, golf is fun with the drama.
Yes, and I think there will be some drama going into the Masters. But it whet the appetite, if you will.
Yes.
When I saw the commercial during the, it was Bills and Chiefs game that they had the Masters music play for a little bit, and it was just
nothing gets you amped up during a football game like the Masters.
Yes, absolutely. So
you got Jason Kelsey jumping into the stands in the snow, shirtless, chugging a beer, and it's like do.
The Masters on CBS coming soon. It will be. All right, enough sports. Let's get into the second part of our show. We got to get into the world of entertainment with the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty?
Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, entertainment entree time activated. The big news, Oscar nominations came out.
Yep.
So where do we want to begin with them? Where do you want to...
I figured...
What do you want to tackle?
We can just go through the list of the major movies to gain some...
I just want to tell you from a bookie perspective, I researched...
Did you pull the odds?
I researched some online bookies. It's exactly what you think. Anything Oppenheimer is the favorite. It's heavy favorite.
Yeah, I mean, just to start things off, I wanted to go over the multiple nomination films, and Oppenheimer leads the pack with 13. And I saw Oppenheimer. I saw its big budget pop culture counterpart in Barbie during the Barbenheimer, fanfare. And I, for my money, those are the two of the best movies of the year. I haven't seen many of the other ones. I will be trying to check them out now that the nominations are officially out. But as soon as I walked out of Oppenheimer the first time, I said, this is probably going to win Best Picture.
Yeah.
I think it's time for Christopher Nolan to get his due.
Yeah.
And it's one of those rare moments where when somebody is due, they actually deserve it.
Yeah.
It very rarely does it sync up, but I know this is going to be controversial in your opinion. I think this is his best movie.
Whoa, yeah.
I think it's his best movie, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Inception has a soft spot in my heart because it tickles that part of my brain where it's like the what if, the philosophy, the psychology, the wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. But Oppenheimer, just from like 1,000-foot view, I think just spectacular acting, directing, dramatic tension. It's just a really solidly put together film. And I think it was 3 gripping hours of cinematic experiences. And never once during the movie did I feel like, oh, this is boring, or they could have cut this scene, or what are they talking about? What's going on? And I feel like a lot of Christopher Nolan films sometimes, like you look at Tenet, you look at Dunkirk, especially, after the success of Inception and Interstellar, he got a little high on his own supply.
Yeah, absolutely.
There were a couple movies there I was like, I don't know, man. But this just came back with a vengeance. Absolutely brilliant.
Yes. So, yeah, from I'll tell you from the world of the online bookies, yeah, any of these categories that have Oppenheimer nominated, they're pretty much the favorite. Best Picture, Cillian Murphy, Best Actor,
Yep.
Robert Downey Jr., Best Supporting Actor,
Christopher
Best
Nolan,
Director.
Best Director.
Yeah.
I think it's cinematography, supporting actress. I mean, it's just
those major categories. They're the favorite.
Adapted screenplay, probably. Yeah. Yeah. So Oppenheimer, I fully expected to run away with the awards. Other big nominations: Poor Things with 11. Killers of the Flower Moon, the new Scorsese film, with 10. Those were the double-digit getters. But then Barbie climbing the ranks with 8, Maestro with 7, and then a whole bunch of movies tied at 5, including American Fiction, which I just talked about a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I cited it as saying it could be a potential awards getter. You got to pay attention to the show, guys. I talk about them. I think I talked about Past Lives, American Fiction. I think I talked about Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. That's what the show is for. That's why we do what we do, to keep the people informed.
That is correct.
I don't watch any of them. I just tell them what to watch.
Yes.
No, it's really, really good bunch of films. I think Best Picture, there's a lot of amazing films up there. The one thing that I did want to talk about, first, were there any specific categories that you wanted to dive into?
No, I mean, I just wanted to kind of get that out of the way with Oppenheimer. It really just seemed like it's going to be Oppenheimer's year. I mean, for those that are in the gambling realm, most of the categories where you have Oppenheimer, it's like minus 300, that's pretty
crazy.
Big. That means you have to lay $3 to win 1.
Wow.
So it's looking like Oppenheimer's going to clean house here.
Yeah. There's really, there's a lot of good movies, but there's nothing that really touches it other than, and I haven't seen it, but Killers of the Flower Moon is getting a lot of great press, and American Fiction is getting a lot of great press recently. I don't think that Poor Things did pretty well, but I don't think that any of them really come close to the same kind of clout that Oppenheimer
It's
garnered.
the perfect snowball.
Yeah.
It checks off all the check boxes that you want from a Best Picture. And like you said, Nolan's due. He hasn't won one.
It was written to be an award-getting movie.
Yeah.
It's a historical period piece, biopic,
epic.
Tells the whole life story of somebody set during wartime, famed director, very hot lead actor. It's like everything that the Academy just absolutely goes bananas over.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it's a foregone conclusion.
Yeah. All right. Tell me, are we going to get to the Barbie controversy? This is what you want to pivot to?
I think we have to. I think we have to because I was going over the list and I was like,
Here we go, Barbie controversy.
That's weird.
Just for those that don't know, do you want to quickly explain?
So Barbie, one of the best movies of the year in terms of critical praise, commercial success, awards, recognition, but not when it comes to the Academy. Apparently a movie about feminism. Director Greta Gerwig did not get nominated for director, and actress Margot Robbie did not get nominated for Best Actress. But Ryan Gosling did. That's the movie. That's the movie.
He's
whenever
he's gonna win an Oscar again. He's just Ken.
But whenever somebody's like, I don't understand why we need Barbie. This is why. This is when you talk about snubs and Christopher Nolan getting snubbed in the past, this has gotta be a big snub.
So
even though you didn't quite enjoy it to the same level as others, you have to admit.
I think this works both ways here.
Okay.
So first off, I will say, for Barbie getting all this attention in the Oscars, it does seem like she should have gotten a nod for Best Actress.
How do you get Best Director, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, but not get Best Director?
So no. So first off, let me do Best Director is a weird category because sometimes there's politics behind that. I'm sure Greta got involved in that. So,
really?
It's a shame.
You think that
it's a shame, but I can understand if things went south. I can see Greta doing some things. Best Director is it's
very political.
It's like you said. It's very much like is it somebody's time?
Right. And I will say the Academy sees Martin Scorsese and Christopher Nolan, and it's two spots automatically, not even up for debate.
Yeah. So
it's really people competing for the last 3 spots.
So Greta Gerwig, I'm sorry, I can see her getting snubbed. I'm going to say this though about Barbie with when it comes to Margot Robbie, but also America Ferrera. She gets a nod for Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah.
She was only I don't know. The only thing is she does that monologue at the end about, how it's unfair to be a woman. And I feel like that was literally just kind of a throwing a bone there. Yeah, you know what? I guess you're right. Here you go. Take this as,
the monologue got a lot of play, and I know a lot of people that really appreciated it, and it's a great scene. But I do think she has some other really good moments in that movie. To be fair, I haven't seen the other movies other than Oppenheimer that were nominated in that category. I haven't seen Nyad, The Color Purple, or The Holdovers. But America Ferrera, she did have some good moments. I don't think that she did better than Margot Robbie, though. I think is the issue.
Yeah, I don't think
how do you nominate her but then also not Margot Robbie?
That's what I was kind of getting at. Yeah. I think it goes both ways. I don't think that should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actress, but I definitely could see Margot Robbie should have been nominated for Best Actress.
My issue is that you think Barbie is good enough for Best Picture, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Supporting Actor and Actress, but the person who plays the title character
Not good enough.
didn't do good enough.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, it did good enough to get it to Best Picture, but not good enough to be nominated individually. I almost think that it's like an intentional jab almost. Like, how do you get 8 nominations and the movie, the titular character, not get nominated?
Yeah.
Like, that is weird.
That
That
is
is like almost a direct snub.
There's something weird happening with that.
And I know you say that it makes sense for Greta Gerwig to not get nominated. I understand that's a highly political category.
It is.
Because of the way that the directors, it's very much a boys' club and inside baseball kind of stuff. But again, 8 nominations, most of the acting categories, screenplay, picture, but not director. I mean, I think those are the two biggest snubs of the awards. And I just can't understand what the Academy is thinking just from a like, you want people to watch your show and you almost intentionally cause controversy. But also from an optics standpoint, like, how do you not see what you're about to do? You know? It's almost willfully ignorant.
Yeah.
/ intentional.
Yeah. So there you go. Just a quick recap of the Barbie
It wouldn't
snub.
be the Oscars without controversy.
Is there anything else you want to mention? Because we got to move to our next story, but there's one more thing I wanted to point out. Do you have anything else that you wanted to mention?
I mean, Oppenheimer's the big one.
Yeah, it's
just
gonna be
like,
it's gonna be Oppenheimer.
I feel like everything is just revolving around that movie, and rightfully so.
From the bookies' odds, it is. I'm sorry. This is gonna be an all. If you didn't like Oppenheimer, sorry, this is Oppenheimer's time.
I think it's gonna win like at least 7 or 8 categories, if not just sweep them outright.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be pretty damn near close. But go see some of those other movies that we talked about. American Fiction, I think, has a pretty good shot. From what I've seen in other awards and from just staying up to date on things, Poor Things also has a pretty good shot at grabbing some awards. And, you know, I always have a soft spot for Best Animated Feature, which I think is a tight category between The Boy and the Heron. Nimona from Netflix, love to see that nominated, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That's a tough category. That's all I really had, though, that I wanted to call out. You had something specific, though, that you wanted to mention.
I just want to give a shout out. If you haven't had a chance, go online and search the party that the visual effects team had behind Godzilla -1. Apparently they were live streaming like the nominations news conference. So they were partying. They had like you would have thought they won the Super Bowl when that thing came up on the screen that they actually got nominated for best visual effects. The champagne started, the confetti started. You would have thought they won the Super Bowl. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
So I love
see
seeing
that.
something like that where this team, they didn't know if they were actually going to get nominated. They probably heard that they were in the running, but they didn't know if they would actually make the 5, you know, to be in the actual nominations, and they were so happy. Go Google it. It's one of the most pure joy events you'll ever see.
I think that a monster movie should win that category.
Well, if they do, you know what? Yeah, give it to them. I want to see what they celebrate. I want to see how they celebrate if they actually win the Oscar. Yeah. Give it to them. I just want to see that. Make that the first award of the night.
I did see a headline about their reaction, but I didn't actually get a chance to watch it.
It's
So I'm
pure joy.
gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, it'll make you feel good. It's just pure joy. The champagne comes out. They're all excited. It's great. So
I will say that Godzilla -1 was a surprise. Like, I've never seen a monster movie rate so highly and do so well. It's got like a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. Okay, real quick, we also need to pivot because there is some wrestling news. I know it's technically sports entertainment, so we're booking this on the entertainment end with some wrestling here.
My God, what the hell's going on tonight?
Yeah, Ric Flair asking what is happening with WWE. WWE made some major moves with its 3 primary shows. So to kind of bookend this into football terms for you, Mike, WWE has 3 major shows. They have NXT, which is kind of their development program, so that's kind of like the college football of the WWE. Then SmackDown and Raw are like the 2 conferences. That's like AFC and NFC.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but they're 2 separate shows, 2 separate rosters. But over time, Raw is viewed as kind of the flagship show. It's a little bit longer. It's got 3 hours of programming. SmackDown is 2 hours. Raw has the history. It's been on for 30 years. SmackDown has been on for 20 years, I think. Raw's actually it might be 93. Wait a minute. Oh
That's 30.
Oh, it is 30. All right, good. I did my math right. Okay.
We're old, but not that old.
All right. Anyway, so there you go. Kind of give you a hierarchy of how this stands here.
Yeah.
So WWE announced where these shows are going because their contracts are up this year. End of this year, they are up. They will not. They had to renegotiate the broadcasting rights. The first two are expected. SmackDown sold to NBC Universal and the USA Network in a 5-year, $280 million year deal. That's
a big deal.
Big deal, but sounds about right for a major wrestling show that commands a pretty good audience.
Yeah.
NXT, the developmental show, is going to be sold to CW under the NBC Universal affiliate to a 5-year, $25 million year deal, obviously, because it's the developmental program and
right.
Not as high budget as the other two shows. But the major twist in this one was where Monday Night Raw got sold to. Netflix popped out of the woodwork to offer $500 million per year for 10 years with the option for Netflix to opt out after 5 years for the future of Raw in 2025. A turn out of left field that nobody saw coming. This will mark the first time in Raw's 30-year history that the program will not be on live cable TV. You must have Netflix starting in 2025. You must have Netflix to watch live Raw on Monday night, which is crazy to think of. In addition, because WWE is going to shut down WWE Network soon, and the NBC Universal rights does not apply in other countries, Netflix will automatically become the de facto home of WWE for viewers outside of the U.S. So Netflix, with this huge coup in picking up WWE, this is an unprecedented turn for the company. What are your gut check reactions for this from Netflix's side?
Well, from Netflix's side, I think that's a steep price to pay. However, it makes sense given the streaming landscape. I was thinking about this, and we've seen an increase in these streamers picking up sports programming, right? If they really want to compete with traditional TV and the traditional cable model, traditional TV model, you need to have the last holdout of traditional TV, which is either news or sports. And so you see things like Amazon Prime get Thursday Night Football, Peacock got Sunday Night Football. I think Apple TV Plus has Major League Soccer and baseball. Like, every streamer is starting to pick up some of these sports programming options, except for Netflix. They're kind of just sitting there going, well, you know, they have their reality shows, but they don't have anything to bring in sports fans. So I can see them desperately wanting to get a slice of that pie, of that live sports programming. My only question, though, is $500 million a year too steep? And, you know, is this going to be a marked increase in subscription rates, something like wrestling? I can understand, you know, Amazon Prime wanting primetime football games and Peacock wanting primetime football games. Those are always some of the most watched events on TV, period, just like football games. I know wrestling has a very rabid, loyal fan base, but enough to increase the subscriber base the way that Netflix thinks? Or do you think this is primarily targeting those overseas markets, maybe? I don't think they're going to get that many more U.S. subscribers from just carrying.
I think it's both.
You think it's both?
Yeah, I think they get more exposure on the international scene, and then for here in the domestic in the U.S. Yeah, you got to get Netflix to watch Monday Night Raw now in 2025. You better sign up. You better pay your $20 a month.
I mean, I guess they must have done their homework.
And wrestling is a big deal, down south. There's legions of it in Philly.
You pointed out,
it's a pretty big deal.
I didn't realize it's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah, WWE is.
I didn't realize it was that large. But do you really think there's that many Netflix subscriber holdouts in that base?
There might be.
I guess Netflix would have done their homework, and they would have seen, like, oh, we don't have a lot of subscribers in this demographic or that demographic,
And maybe with the recent turn, you're right. Netflix has been doing a lot of reality shows.
Yeah.
Which I bet you they've probably picked up more of the female audience on that side.
Yeah.
Maybe they saw the numbers shrinking on the male demographic.
Like,
and
we need something to... Netflix leaned hard. I don't know whether this is just a byproduct of being engaged, but it seems like they went hard into the Christmas rom-com genre.
They did.
And the reality dating and the reality this and making cakes and cooking shows and all that stuff, and like a lot of reality TV.
Yep, yes, they did.
So you think this is the
maybe
this is the guys' reality TV now?
Yeah, maybe they realized they got to counterbalance it.
I mean, maybe.
And I mean, that's a hell of a way to do it by stealing Monday Night Raw. I mean, this is a legendary show that's been on for 30 years.
That's true.
That is a crazy get to pull off.
Do you think this makes sense for WWE?
See, that's the thing. I would think WWE would be a little iffy on this because some of their audience, kind of skews towards older males who may not want to jump on the streaming bandwagon.
And that's why I'm confused about, like, I don't know if this is the perfect marriage, which is why I think there's that out after 5 years.
Yeah,
because I think they may realize, like, we're not going to convince many, like, 50-year-old Southerners to sign up for Netflix if they weren't already.
Or maybe they will, and they'll force their kids, how do I get a Netflix account?
Yeah. It's definitely an interesting scenario.
Wasn't there a thing with the Peacock, or when Peacock had the first football game on their service? They were like a high number of middle-aged to elderly men signed up for Peacock.
I believe it.
Yeah, because there was like that meme going around that was like all the kids that are anybody that's like 20 or 30 years old, get ready to get a call from your dad.
How do you sign up for this? Look, I've been there and done that when it was a few years ago when it was announced that the new Star Trek was only going to be on Paramount Plus. Do you know what I had to subscribe to for my folks? That's right, Paramount Plus. Thank God they have Nickelodeon nostalgia shows on there too, because it would have just been a Star Trek.
But there
streamer.
You go. Maybe that's all it takes.
All it takes is a very rabid fan base and a very niche streaming, well, not niche, Netflix is a niche, but a very niche way to watch it, like specifically only on a streaming platform. It could be very profitable for the both of them. It makes sense for me for Netflix to want to get into the sports streaming arena. I think it's a weird choice to do it with wrestling because I don't know how much of an overlap there is, but to your point, maybe they did their research and they're like, this is the one demographic we haven't penetrated. So let's give it a shot.
Yeah. And like you said, it puts Netflix in the live broadcasting department.
It does. And you watch, I think over the next couple of years, we're going to see more and more sports try to sign deals. I think that Amazon Prime has had pretty good success with their Thursday night games. I've heard, some positive things about that. I know Apple TV Plus does, I believe they do a lot of Major League Soccer and baseball stuff. So I could see it continue to trend in that direction. And then, that's the final frontier for the streamers.
Yeah.
Is they have all the other shows you want. If you have all the major streamers, you can pretty much watch any movie or TV show that you set your mind to. The one thing you cannot watch there is sports.
Well, that barrier may fall soon.
Yeah.
And there you go. That'll wrap up the entertainment entree, but we're not done the show because we still got one more bit to do. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing.
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Mandada bastata. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts! That'll be $4, baby! You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at meat tornado.
No, go past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders, go to the bathroom, because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Woo, odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news. Here in this segment, Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story and keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing these stories for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen. And even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths. And I'm ready to get started. Where are we going?
All right. Our story here takes us to Indiana.
What?
Yeah, going to Indiana.
There's nothing in Indiana.
Yeah. There is Buffalo Wild Wings in Indiana.
Do you mean like that's their headquarters or just in general?
I don't know.
You assume that they have a Buffalo Wild Wings.
They do have a Buffalo Wild Wings because that is the location of this story.
Oh. Why would somebody defile a Buffalo Wild Wings?
I know. It's a fine establishment.
I like the fact, tangent, I like the fact that you can get like a platter of like however many, like 20 wings, right? And you can select multiple kinds of sauces and dry rubs for them to be tossed in.
Yeah, you can.
Like usually
you can try.
when you go to any kind of pub, you're like, I want wings, and like, cool, you can have one sauce.
Choose your one sauce, yeah.
And it's usually barbecue, buffalo, or like some kind of like garlic Asian zing kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like Buffalo Wild Wings, there's like 20 some.
Or like crap your pants hot sauce.
Yeah. But like Buffalo Wild Wings, you have sweet sauces, dry rubs, hot sauces, everything. We're not sponsored by them, but if they would like to.
Yes.
Maybe not after this story, whatever it's about. We'll see.
We'll see. So in this story, we're following the case of 25-year-old Justin Carpenter.
Okay.
So he showed up to the Buffalo Wild Wings around midnight.
Oh, wow. Are they even open that late?
Right. Unfortunately, the kitchen closes before then.
Okay.
So unfortunately, not good. He asked for some fried pickles.
Okay.
That was his snack of choice.
Look, it's a simple request.
Yep. So.
And they probably said no. What?
I don't know. This is when I feel like I'm my dad. Why? For fried pickles, you could have went to any other bar that stays up open. Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm going there. I'm getting my wings.
If it says, like, when you go to a restaurant that has the name of the food in the title,
yeah,
you get
the
that food.
You don't mess around with that.
Like, for example, when you go to Outback Steakhouse, what might you get?
You
Rich?
get steak.
If you go to Red Lobster, what might you get?
You get some sort of seafood.
Right.
Yes.
If you go to Buffalo Wild Wings,
get wings.
There you go.
But no, this genius, he wants fried pickles.
I don't know. Teach their own, but I agree. I would go for the wings.
The poor hostess there, 16-year-old, name is redacted because she is a minor.
Right.
Told the person that the kitchen had closed, so could not get them some fried pickles.
Right.
So instead, Carpenter said, "If you make me some fried pickles, I'll make it worth it."
Okay, weird.
Yep. Then
I'm a little concerned.
She asked, "What do you mean?" And that's when Carpenter offered her first a vape cartridge.
Okay.
You know, the kids are into that.
Yeah, the kids are into this vaping stuff.
Right? Isn't that one of the things
I feel like
these kids are into?
I feel like a lot of people don't understand what it means to, like, and I'm not saying that I ever worked in food services, but like you can't just like fire up the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, you're not, oh, sure, like, it's just
you can't be the waitress in Tommy Boy. Oh, I'm going to fire up the fryers for you. Like,
yeah,
no.
I feel like it's not that just cut and dry. You don't just, like, flip a switch and, like, all of a sudden, like, fried. It's not like the freaking hollow projector on Star Trek. You're just like, Earl Grey, hot, and it just appears.
Yes, that's not how the kitchens work. All right, so the vape cartridge. No, didn't persuade her. Sorry.
Okay.
No.
It's got. She's like, what else you got?
This was actually a really carefully planned negotiation.
This is right
by the 16-year-old.
Right, exactly.
So she said no, can't do that. Then Carpenter said, "How about some marijuana?"
Whoa, up in the ante.
Yeah.
All right.
And she said, "No, we can't do that."
Okay. Oh man, she's calling his bluff. She's like, I know you. She's like, I know you got more. What you got for me?
This is like a really bad poker hand.
Yeah. I see that, and I raise you. All right, so what does he hit her with?
Calling your bluff.
Calling your bluff. What does he hit her with?
All right.
The ace up his sleeve.
So
what is it?
No marijuana.
Okay.
Then he said, "How about some ecstasy?"
Whoa. All right. So he's going all in now. He's like, we got the vape, we got the pot, we got the ecstasy, all in.
Yeah.
He thinks he's got a royal flush right here.
Yep. Again, she said no, can't do that.
Wow, man, this 16-year-old, she drives a hard bargain. All right.
Yeah.
What's the final play?
Then Carpenter
pulls out the crack pipe.
Carpenter claimed that he had cocaine on him.
Man.
And I know who it's coming from because I backtraced it.
I love
the progression.
I love that this person. Well, one, the progression is fantastic.
Yeah,
that's just like vape, pot, ecstasy, just keeps on upping it. I also love the fact that he's just like a walking pharmacy.
Yeah,
he just had all this on him.
I mean,
just at the same time.
He's ready to go apparently for all your drug needs.
At that point, I'm like, I better get you the pickles because you need something else in your system.
Yeah.
So, did she take the cocaine?
No. She held firm.
Wow. Wait. Does he up it again?
No. That's it. No. The cocaine's the top of the list.
The cocaine's the top of the list.
Yeah. That's
we
pretty...
have military grade morphine. like where? Like where?
Pulls out the little yellow box from LA Noir.
like where do you go though after?
Yeah, I got something interesting for you.
Oh my God.
No. He just slides that yellow box from LA Noir.
All right, so he's what class 1 drug do you want? I got them all.
Hit X to doubt.
Oh my God.
She did, and she hit X
She
to
did.
doubt.
She hit X to doubt like 4 times.
Yeah.
She's solving the case.
Yeah, this would be a boring game if she was in charge. She just keeps hitting doubt.
X.
Yeah.
So damn, he played all his hands and got no fried pickles.
Yeah, no.
Damn. That's rough, man. That's a bad break.
So obviously during this time apparently another member of the staff heard the conversation being
they heard
held.
the wheeling and dealing. They're like, hold on.
Yeah.
I got to get in on this.
They had the man stay there. They pulled the minor out of there because you don't want to.
Right.
You're trying to make sure she's safe.
Protect the children.
Yes. Good job.
Don't do cocaine.
Good job, Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, protect the poor minor that's being harassed.
But also, if you just offered somebody cocaine, and then all of a sudden a crowd starts to form, and they're like, "Could you just wait a second?" I'm like, you know what? I'm leaving.
No.
I'm not hanging around to find out what conclusion they come to.
Yeah, no. So that's when the manager was able to call cops and get him there to the scene. Carpenter, I guess at this point, probably
so
realized
he did catch on.
Something was amiss. He then left 3 bags of pot on her counter.
For your trouble.
Yeah, this is the parting gift. Yeah, thank you.
Is that like a tip?
Yeah.
The 16-year-old's like, I would have preferred $10. Oh, my God.
Yeah, so he left 3 bags of pot for her. He tried to get back into his vehicle, but police were on the scene. They followed him to the nearest Speedway gas station where he was pulled over. And guess what? He was not lying.
Wow. He had it all?
The police searched the car and they found marijuana, cocaine, oxycodone, Xanax, THC, and scales. This guy was full-blown, driving pharmacy.
Man, pharmacy on wheels.
Yeah.
I'm on drugs again.
Yeah. Like all of the above.
Yeah, he was dead serious. He was going to trade these for some fried pickles.
Man, he's just a traveling salesman.
I'm on drugs again.
He was willing to trade like hardcore drugs for pickles.
For fried pickles.
He's not even going there for the wings. You're right. I feel like the return on investment is not great.
Yeah. Is there a fried pickle union or department? Because if there is, they should take this story and be like, this is how delicious fried pickles are.
This is how good fried pickles are.
Yeah. Here's a story for you.
I will say it is one of my favorite appetizers, I think. Fried pickles.
Rachel loves fried pickles.
They're delicious.
Yeah.
They're zesty, they're sour,
I like it when it comes with a zesty sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get disappointed when you order fried pickles and there's no sauce.
What are your favorite appetizers? Go.
Go, you bitch. Now, wings. I definitely love wings.
Okay. Solid choice.
Fried calamari.
Ooh, okay.
Like mozzarella sticks.
Classic. Got to get something cheesy.
I don't know, at this rate, anything fried. I feel like anything fried is good.
My brother said, and I disagree, I'm going to throw it out there, nachos.
Nachos are good if done the right way.
They're done the wrong way a lot.
Yes. That's the problem with nachos.
Nachos, there's like, when you go in, one, they're almost impossible to share just because like they're so messy. Two, you pull out a chip, it's either soggy and falling apart or it's completely dry and has nothing on it.
Well, here's the problem. There needs to be layering. And a lot of kitchens don't do that.
They just dump a bucket of stuff on top of it.
Yeah, no.
That's why my favorite appetizers are, like you said, like the fried food baskets. We're looking for onion rings, mozzarella sticks, cheesesteak egg rolls if you're in the Philly area.
Yeah.
You can't deny a good cheesesteak egg roll. I like big soft pretzels. They're carby. I love my carbs. They're salty. They're carby. You got your beer cheese dipping sauce. But anything like fried and not like piled on. I don't like the piling on of the nachos.
Nachos can be good if they're properly layered. That if they are, then that's a good A+.
I want them, and I've never seen a place that does this. I want them brought out on like a sheet tray.
Yeah.
No, I mean like a single layer. So you get a little bit of everything in each chip, and no chip is like soggy. Yeah, I hate it when you get it and it's like drooping and it falls. You go like this, you bring it over, and the droop all over your shirt. We've all been there.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So there's Mike's appetizer opinion.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, to conclude this story, Carpenter was arrested on multiple felony and misdemeanor narcotics charges.
Yep, that makes sense.
Booked into the local county jail. Not a surprise. He had 2 separate drug cases filed against him last year.
Wow. Yeah.
He is waiting to hear if he's going to get bail. If he is, the judge has ordered him to not come into contact with the Buffalo Wild Wings.
So, like,
he's
lost his privileges.
Yep, he's lost his Buffalo Wild Wings privileges.
That sucks.
That's how valuable Buffalo Wild Wings is. You can lose your privilege to go there.
That's a heartbreaker.
Young man, we are disappointed in you. You're never going back there.
No more wings. Bad. I'm sure he's listening. Just to be reprimanded by you.
I just love that. He got banished from Buffalo Wild Wings.
I feel like I would be sad if I got banished from Buffalo Wild Wings. I like I do legitimately like. I know it's just a chain, but like I like it. It's good.
I think that really does establish you've hit a new low in your life.
What, when you get banned from a chain restaurant?
Yeah, I got banished from Buffalo Wild Wings.
That's pretty bad.
Lifetime ban.
I think the only thing lower is like getting banned from like a Friendly's.
Do they even still exist at this rate?
Yeah. There's one. Where's that place? On Germantown.
Yeah, where's that place?
Where Roots is. Roots Real Food.
Yeah,
Real Food.
that's still there. No, that's good.
They operate a Mr. Beast burger out of there.
Oh no! Don't get me started on them.
What?
That's a.
You don't like Mr. Beast burger?
No, that's a scam and a half.
Those ghost kitchens.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed when I ordered it for pickup, and I'm driving there, and I'm like, wait a second, this is Friendly's. I felt so betrayed. I was like, what the hell?
Yes. So there you go. The story of Justin Carpenter, who all he wanted was a nice deep fried
just
pickle.
Wanted some pickles, man.
Yeah,
and
but
instead he got jail time.
Yeah, but he was wheeling and dealing. He
was trying.
He was trying with his drugs.
I'm on drugs again.
Yeah,
you got to appreciate somebody, trying to make a deal.
Yeah.
He was wheeling and dealing. He was
Monty Hall. He was trying to make a deal. But unfortunately, the only deal he got is going to be with the judge to see if he gets bail.
Rough break.
And no more Buffalo Wild Wings for that man.
Nope.
He has lost his Buffalo Wild Wings privileges.
That's a sad day.
Yep.
That's a sad day.
Yes, it is. Does his mugshot get plastered at all the Buffalo Wild Wings locations now?
Should be. Yeah.
Yeah. Do not let
Absolutely. Do not serve this man.
Do not let this fried pickle enthusiast into your restaurant.
A fried pickle enthusiast.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the story that we've got, and now we'll wrap up this episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Thank you guys for supporting our little show. If you like what you heard, make sure you go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. Make sure you follow us on all the socials. But most importantly, make sure you have a way to get our episodes sent to you every week. 2 main ways to do that. First one is on YouTube. Go to our YouTube page, hit the subscribe button so that every time we get the episodes out to you each week, it goes right to your YouTube channel. And the second way is on Spotify. The video podcast does go up on Spotify, but also you can put Spotify in the background and listen to us as an audio only podcast. And with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, use Spotify and you can listen to us on the go, on your commutes, wherever you're going, on your way to your Buffalo Wild Wings. Use your Buffalo Wild Wings privileges, because this man doesn't have them anymore.
That's right. Don't take them for granted.
Yeah. So you can put us on the car ride over there and get your tasty fried pickles and wings at Buffalo Wild Wings.
So many possibilities.
Yes, that's correct.
But if you need to get in touch with us individually to share your sports, entertainment, and odd news stories, you can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I am Ashley Big, RICHLIEBIG. Find us on X. Let us know what's happening. Let us know if there's a topic you want us to talk about. Any odd news goes to me. And if we use your story, we'll give you a sausage shout out. So let us know what you want to hear on next week's episode. But for right now, we got to start wrapping this episode up. This has been the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. That'll do it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.